Hey, I'm James the Light Guy, and welcome to part 2 of the Subaru Legacy Headlight build.
Now that I have all the parts cleaned up, we're going to be using this Rust-Oleum high heat paint. This paint is good up to 2000 degrees, but in order to do that we'd have to bake all of these parts several times at 250 degrees, 250 degrees, 400 degrees, assuming that we're not going to melt the part. But we don't need that much resistance. This will reach whatever amount of resistance it needs naturally by the amount of heat generated by the bulbs. I'm from a school of when it comes to paint, follow the directions, mix until it's thoroughly mixed, and then mix it some more. So I've been shaking this can up for about 5 minutes now, and we're just going to apply a light coat just to give another layer for it to stick onto. Then we're going to apply several more light coats. Alright, that's it for the first coat. We're going to give this an hour to dry and then apply another coat. It's been an hour, we're ready for our second coat. Alright, we're going to give that an hour to dry, and we'll put on our third and final coat. And that does it for the paint job. Now we're going to let this dry overnight before we get into reassembly. We're back at the workbench with our freshly painted pieces, and we're going to try and get them assembled without ruining the finish. The first thing we want to do is try and get our shrouds on our micro projectors. Which is held on by 2 screws. next step is trying to get these projectors into the housings without ruining the finish. We have to get the projectors into these. Alright, now that we have those together, let's grab the fascias and see how they look in there. Not too bad, not too bad. Right, now we're going to push those assemblies aside, grab the face plates, and start working on them. I haven't yet repaired this assembly. What we're going to do is we're going to grab a 2-part epoxy and we are going to fix that a little later. But for now, we're going to put it aside and we're going to focus on this assembly. Everything we do to this one, we're going to repeat on this assembly. We've got our halo here that goes around our low beam projector, and in order to get it centered on the hole, we need to make space for the wires. There we go. Perfect. Let's get this housing cleaned up. To secure the halo to the housing, we're going to use a high temp clear RTV silicon. Alright, we're going to carefully lay a bead on the back side of our halo. We just have to wait for this to dry. With that secured, our next step is to take these LED indicators and attach them into the housing over here. Okay, now that we're done that part, we can start reattaching all of the clear lenses. We're going to start with the marker light lens. There we go. Now the bottom clear trim. There we go. And last, the reflector, or rather turn signal lens, which once again I grabbed the wrong lens. This one. And there we go. We can take this assembly, which is the one that was damaged, and with some 2-part epoxy, we can try and fix that crack and reattach this piece here. Alright, now we'll just let that cure. Next up, let's clear all this out of the way and start making the wiring harness.